Janie. Wow, what a cool embroidery you've got on your shirt there.
Thank you, Jamie.
Where did you get it from?
Well, this is one of the designs that comes in the sample folders
Really?
in the 5D embroidery system.
I don't recognize that.
You know why? Because the original design was very plain.
Yes, I recognize it now.
Yes, yes. And it didn't have much character to it. But you know what? In 5D Stitch Editor now, I can select an object, an area in the design, and I can actually convert it to other types of stitches.
That's completely different.
It is wonderful. It is wonderful. You can see here, this is actually a spiral fill.
Yep.
And you can take the satin stitches and change them to all different kinds of things as well. Here I've taken my leaves and created a single area
And it
of
looks
fill.
completely different.
It does. It does. It gives it a very different character altogether. Would you like to see a little bit about how we do that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to find my sample. And here's that rose, and you can see that it really is very plain. It doesn't have a whole lot of character. So I'm just going to zoom in close so you can see it. And I can go to a new tab called Object. In an object, I can object select.
That's a new tab, isn't it? We've never had this before.
It's totally new. And basically, this gives me the capability of doing the same types of things with my fill stitches and my satin stitches that I could do in Design Creator.
Oh,
in digitizing.
fantastic.
So all I'm going to do is select, but you know what? It's much easier to select it if I use my Draw Next color. So I'm going to isolate
That's a great
that part
feature.
of my rose. Yes.
And again, you can use it even without going back to your Design tab.
Yes. Yes, it's visible at all times, and that's really great. I love that. And Ghost Mode is visible at all times as well.
Wonderful.
So I'm just going to select the pieces that make up those fill stitches, and it's as easy as a right click. So when I right click, you can see I could put a new pattern fill in there, but I also can change it to a motif, a specialty, a crosshatch fill. So specialty fill was what I chose, and a spiral fill, and that gave me that great texture.
Yeah, and it looks so much more lifelike to what it was originally.
Rose. Yep. So we just choose spiral fill, and you can adjust how close together those lines of stitches are. And look at that.
Wow,
Isn't
that looks so
gorgeous?
easy and so fast as well.
Just gorgeous. It really is pretty. And of course, there's an origin command in there, just like there would be in our digitizing software. So we can change where the stitches start and everything, and create these great open spirals. So I have a few other things that I've done kind of the same way. This was another one of the sample files. Beautiful roses, and I love it, but it's very formal. And it's pretty dense. And I wanted to stitch that on a really gauzy sheer fabric. So we also have the option, when we select an object, not only of converting it to different stitch types. Here you can see that I've used a feathered satin, replace that plain satin stitch. We can also adjust how dense the stitches are in any object in the design.
And it looks so much better and so different compared to what it was originally. And a much softer, less bulky stitch as well.
It's great, and it's great for stitching, say, down a silk scarf for the front of a sheer blouse. So that was another one. I had a great time creating these little areas of contour fill to contour the shape of the leaves. Now here's a seashell, and this was the original again. And here we've used a crosshatch fill.
Yeah, and look how you've used different stitch types, but created so much texture and so much variety. And again, look, wow, by curving it around there,
another
it
contour,
looks so much better than just all in one direction.
And a shape fill here to echo that shape of that little teardrop in the center. And these guys, I absolutely fell in love with them, my Rhino family. And these guys are adorable, but they're very plain. Very plain. So not only can we change to different types of fill patterns, this one is a gradient fill, but in a multicolor gradient as well. So you can see he's color blended.
Yeah, and it gives him his skin so much more life and texture. And wow, look at this. What have you done here?
Well, you know, rhinos kind of have crinkly skin, right? So I selected this little guy's object area and copied it, pasted it back in, and converted it to a contour fill.
Fantastic.
So it gave a layer on layer effect.
Fantastic.
Yeah, really great things. So, and of course, you can convert all these little sample stitch outs you do into little projects that you can use. This one has some really great new functions from the object editing. Here we've done a multi-wave fill, taken a very solid fill texture and opened it up.
And look how it just flows
Yes.
with the shape of
Yes.
it as well. So
Gives
much
you
nicer.
the feeling of the water. And here we have a radial fill. This one, of course, has had a new pattern texture
Yeah.
put into
Yeah.
it. And Richelieu bars.
Oh, isn't that so
Yes.
so cool?
Yes.
Just a completely different way of using a stitch type. So instead of just using it for lace, you can
Yes.
use it for other embroideries
Yes.
as well.
I think this object editing tab is going to be one of my very favorite things about new 5D Stitch Editor
Well,
Plus.
it just completely transforms embroideries into something else. I mean, look how cool that is as well.
It does.
Just gives it much more life and texture.
Yes. Yes. Are you going to go home and try it?
I think I will.